Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to Does It Hold Up? I'm Adam,
And I'm Emily.
and we're bringing you a review for an upcoming movie called Cult Killer. This movie's due out January 19th, 2024, but we were lucky enough to get an advanced screening of it so we could let you know what we thought about the movie. This movie centers around Cassie Holt, a private investigator who's trying to track down the murderer of her mentor and friend, Mikhail. But what she doesn't expect is that it goes much deeper than what she thought, as she uncovers an entire sex cult and has to decide if she wants to track down the murderer of her friend or take down this entire cult.
It was a very interesting story. It had a lot of twists and turns that I was not prepared for. Some of it was really interesting. Some of it was just like, oh, we went there. Okay.
Can't believe we did that.
All right. And that's something that's interesting to watch, to not know exactly where things are going when you watch as many movies as we do is intriguing.
Yeah, this movie definitely took a lot of twists and turns. I wouldn't say all of them were good, but it at least tried something. Cassie Holt, the private investigator, is played by Alice Eve, who isn't always a great actress. I'm not even sure that there's times she's a good actress. But she's definitely always trying to put her best foot forward and give her all, and this movie's no different. The problem is, I just don't buy her as a private investigator who can, just beat dudes up.
Yeah, it never really comes across quite right that she's able to do the things that she does.
And they try to explain it through the story. I don't know. It just still doesn't work for me. The mentor that she is trying to avenge is played by Antonio Banderas, who just... Come on. It's Antonio Banderas. He can't really do much wrong.
He's honestly as lovable as ever, and I'm really sad that bad things happen to him.
Yeah, he dies. You can say it. It's okay. It's not really a shock.
It happens in pretty
first,
early on.
Yeah, 7 minutes of the movie, he's gone. But the story structure doesn't let him go. So my biggest worry is that he dies in the first 7 minutes, and then he's just gone, and they used a big name to get you to watch the movie, but only really have 10 minutes of screen time. No, the movie does something where they do a lot of flashbacks between him, his character, and Cassie Holt, and how they develop their friendship and how she learned to be a private investigator. Those are kind of sprinkled throughout the entire movie, which he's always a part of. So it's nice to see that he hung around and really committed to the role long term.
It's a very classic structure where heroine gets in trouble and we need to know that she can actually help herself out of it. And so let me show you how she knows how to help herself out of it.
Yeah.
Problem is it doesn't work 100%. Number one, not everything's lined up perfectly on what she has to do, and now she's doing it. And also, I really wish they would have just put all those clips at the beginning to make us really feel the impact of Mikhail's death.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of flashbacks. I feel like they're very unnecessary sometimes, and they're a way to just hide information from the audience so that we will be surprised by it. But at the end, I'm just pissed off by it. And I feel like this one would have been a lot better if we just took the 20 minutes of screen time for Antonio Banderas, shoved it all at the beginning of the movie, let their friendship develop. Let us get to know these characters so that when he is killed, it has a bigger impact on us. Because having him only in about 7 minutes and then gone, we've seen him really do just one thing. I mean, he does it really well.
Yeah,
and
of course.
It's a great scene, but it's just one thing. So when he's killed, it's like, are we supposed to care? How close were these people? Why is she so hard up to get revenge for him? It just doesn't work the way this story's laid out. If they would have just rearranged it a little bit, a better movie. But as the story goes on and she's trying to seek revenge, she finds a person named Jamie, played by Shelley Hennig. And Jamie is also seeking her own revenge. And the problem is Cassie going to join her in her fight? Or will she keep going along the path that she's currently on? And that's a really good up and down relationship between these two characters that I found to be the most interesting part of the entire movie. It was almost like a rom-com will they won't they, but set in a very dark universe without any of the humor. And I thought it was great.
Honestly, though, I think Shelley did a lot of the heavy lifting in that relationship. She was someone that I was actually interested in watching. Like, I really wish we would have gotten her story be like the only story that we're focusing on, because Cassie Holt paled in comparison to Jamie.
True, and she was a very undeveloped character. All we know is that she had trauma in her past, she was a former alcoholic, and she wanted revenge.
Well,
not much more to that.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really figure out why some of those things existed.
Mm-hmm.
Something else I think was interesting about the movie was the cinematography. It doesn't do anything extraordinary, but it does everything really well, that you are engrossed in the images that you're seeing, in the story you're being told. And the camera does a lot of heavy lifting with that by putting us in places that we feel uncomfortable being. What worked against that, though, was some of the lighting aspects. There's scenes where it's so dark, you're just like, somebody please flip the light switch. It's right there on the wall. I can kind of see it. Just turn it on. And that happens more often than it should.
I know it's a stylistic choice, but it really does distract from some important scenes where it's just like, who's talking?
Yeah. Overall, though, John Keyes is the director, and he does a pretty good job. He's lucky that he had some pretty good talent behind or in front of the camera, because I enjoyed this movie, but I wouldn't say it was something I would have rushed out to see. If it was in theaters, I might have checked it out if I was free on a day and there was nothing else to really see, but it is something I would absolutely check out on home video. I'd sit on my couch, pop it on, check it out, would love it, because I like murder mysteries. I like cop procedurals, especially when they just twist the formula a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So her being a private investigator who can't work within the law because she's not a cop, so she has to work outside the law, even though she has friends on the force who are also helping her. So it's a nice balance between those characters. And I was really into this movie. And I liked everything that was happening. I liked the turns we were taking until about the last 20 minutes of the movie. And then I didn't fully understand what I was supposed to take away from it, what actually was happening, and why the ending is the way that it is. So if we're judging the movie purely on the ending alone,
Yeah, the ending alone makes it so I don't really want to rewatch this movie. I watched it once, I enjoyed it while I watched it, but the ending I was just like, you left a little sour taste in my mouth. It wasn't bad by any means, but
No.
it wasn't the ending I wanted, and I think that's my problem more so than the movies.
Definitely your problem more than the movie, but I feel like the movie had a better ending in it as well, and they just didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
Is it something I would watch again? Maybe. Is it something I enjoyed watching the first time? Absolutely. So if you're free on January 19th and you're looking for something to watch, this might be a movie that you want to either purchase or rent digitally to watch at home, which, again, you can do on January 19th, 2024. I don't think you'll be disappointed, maybe a little bit by the ending, but the ride to get there actually works really well.
Yeah.
Even if you can't 100% believe Alice Eve as a private investigator, but she does her damnedest to make you believe in her.
Yeah.
But again, you're right. I think following Jamie's story would have been a lot more interesting, which is why I'm going to give this movie just a B-. I think it has a lot of good. There's a lot of ups, but there's also a lot of downs. There's a lot of things where I was just like, that could have been better. Oh, maybe tweak that a little. Oh, not sure why this movie decided that needed to be talked about or shown. And overall, at the end of the day, this movie didn't say much. It was entertaining, but because of the dark subject matter, I feel like maybe they could have had a bigger message, a bigger moral to the story that it just never really wants to delve into. So I'm not sure what my takeaway should be, and that's why I'm giving it a B-.
I agree with you on the score. I'm definitely giving it a B- as well, simply because it was an interesting movie to watch. It didn't quite go where I was hoping that it would go. Like you said, it didn't quite go far enough one direction or the other to really take much away from it. But it was still a fun ride while I was watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know in the comments below if you want to check out Cult Killer. Were you a fan of Antonio Banderas? Well, I mean, aren't we all? So let us know. In the meantime, you can click the video on the screen to check out one of our other reviews or just one of our other videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, check out more great content, and until we see you again, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and as always, keep watching movies.
Bye.